So when we last left off, we were about to declare war on China to take back some more land. Well, not take back, but to expand our empire at their expense. And we were in the midst of an election cycle, so no time like the present, so let's get started. Someone always has to go bankrupt, of course, early on. And Japanese trade policy, we're still looking for conservative faction, which is protectionism. I'm going to choose the top one for that reason, and there we go. The second part of, or the second CB against China, which is, of course, what we really needed here. So I'm going to boost up taxes, since this is going to be an expensive war, and see if Spain will ally with me, and they will. And then, of course, no time like the present. So, going to go ahead and declare war. And southern Zahili is where they have a nice big gold mine with 1 million people in it. So I'm going to start with that one. The plan will be for here in the south, just to sort of hold land. Ooh, gonna need to replace that general. Just going to hold until their numbers dwindle here in the south. Although I probably will need to attack them before they will do anything back. So I'm going to force the war there. And then up here in the north, of course, I'm just going to slowly occupy everything before they sweep down to help out in the south. So let's get rolling. Spain accepted our military alliance, of course. And making battle. Wow, we are just cutting through their troops. This is not going to even be close to a fair war. But that's okay with me. I would be very much content with a war that we just completely decimate China and take fairly low casualties on our side. Making battle all across the continent of Asia. I'm going to choose the one, raise the tariffs. Again, protectionism is what we're looking at right here. Our first occupation's over, as well as the first battle. So I'm going to move back to clear out occupiers. And going to move this one on to the next place of occupation. Another successful battle. So again, moving to clear out occupiers in this little peninsula here, Shandong. Looks like there's a preacher here. I'm just going to take the consciousness over the drop in population. Actually, we have a lot of clergymen. I'll take that one. It didn't affect it at all, but that's okay. We have too many clergymen at the moment anyways, so another couple of successful battles. Just keeping an eye on all the occupations. I'm going to see if Spain will be so kind as to join our war. The extra few troops, and especially the extra navy, will be of quite a bit of use. Also going to move my troops down here in Southeast Asia to counter the armies coming from Dainan. Another battle, and Spain has joined us, so a little bit of backup, such as it is. Another devastating victory for us. Even if it's 1-1, the Chinese have absolutely no chance. Ooh, although losing 2-1 casualties is pretty good for them. So it looks like I'm probably getting some pretty bad rolls right here. No? Ah, there we go. Now we're doing better. Here we go, just completely devastating them. And another couple battles. So I'm going to send the Fourth Army back to try and catch these 100,000 units moving, and a Third Army to keep defending our lands here. Oh, another finished occupation, and going to choose pluralism on this election event, since that's what conservative faction has. Let's see. Finish the occupation here, so going to move north, at least for the moment. And 6th Army is almost done occupying. Speak of the devil, 6th Army's done. I'm going to do Port Arthur first, just so that I don't leave any little bits behind that I will have to come back later and occupy. And it looks like the Chinese armies are all moving north to try and protect Manchuria for whatever reason. So I'm going to go ahead and add that as a war goal. Manchuria, which is a huge chunk of land, and raises the necessary war score quite significantly, but such is life. And we have some enemies trying to take our homeland. Probably should have created an army there, but it's alright. I will just build a few guards and a couple guards, a couple infantry, maybe an artillery, and that should hold them off. It's annoying. They may take a couple spaces or a couple provinces before I can successfully push them back to the sea, but it's worth the risk, and in the long run it won't affect the war at all. Very successful war against battle against Dainam, so I'm going to follow up and start to occupy some of Dainam, maybe push them out of the war. And these battles here in mainland China are being quite successful. Everything's pretty much going as according to plan. No one ever said this wasn't going to be a bloody war, but it's looking like we should have no problems getting exactly what we've demanded. Alright, starting to occupy in Vietnam, and another very successful battle. So going to move back and stop any occupations in Shandong. Looking at China, their number of brigades are slowly dropping. They had over 400 when we started, I believe. Ooh, complete wipeout there. Even the Chinese armies can't take these casualties forever. Huh? Another complete wipeout. 24,000 killed for 400, or 24,000 beaten. They aren't all killed necessarily, for a whole 480 lost, not even. And finished occupying Port Arthur, so I'll move that army. I'm going to choose pro-military in this election event. We'll be happy when the election's over so we can focus just on the war. Looks like Dainam's trying to sneak around and occupy some of the Home Islands as well. But when that little stack we just created finishes, it will no longer be an issue. Making sure all of these armies are in fact occupying or fighting somewhere, so we're good for the moment. And I am just cutting through these enemy armies like a hot knife through butter, if you excuse the cliche. This should not be too long of a war, surprisingly, considering how many hundreds of thousands of troops I will have to kill before this is over. Or at least turn into casualties, not necessarily killed again. And finish the occupation here. So we're going to occupy some more of Vietnam. Might as well, after all. Another devastating victory for the Japanese. One that I will follow up. and starting to occupy some more places. Once again, another devastating victory that I will follow up. Occupying more places. More battle has been joined. Again, can choose pluralism on this religion debate event. And the Chinese are starting to occupy. That's okay, I will knock them off of there as soon as I finish occupying here. And pretty soon I'll have an entire new front that I can attack the Chinese from. These provinces up in Manchuria are very large, so it takes a while to move anywhere, but at the same time, I have 3 units there as opposed to the 2, or 3 armies there as opposed to the 2 in the south, so looks like China's trying to sneak some through into Southeast Asia to occupy. Shouldn't be a problem. Once the first army is done occupying, I will move them on over to wipe out the troops that are trying to take what once was Burma. Laos, actually, is the area. Checking on all these armies. They're all either at war or about to be at war. Or not at war. Embattled or about to be embattled. Finished another occupation. It's nice that they're only taking about 10 days each. Certainly can't complain about that speed. Oof. That is not going to end well for the Chinese. I outnumbered them 10-1 in this battle, with better troops and all of that. Another occupation completed. So I'm going to clear these occupiers out, and then move into the Chinese Empire proper. And going to take the Manchu's capital with the 5th Army. And they are starting to get some more exhaustion. The Chinese still aren't, but their number of brigades are dropping quite quickly, and we're sitting at no war exhaustion, so I'm not real worried. We are doing pretty well when it comes to this whole war thing. Spain hasn't really done anything, but they're on our side, so whatever. Even if we don't need their help, so if they do nothing, nothing lost. It would have just been nice for a few extra units to back us up, and or for their large navy to back us up, which I assume they still have a pretty big navy, but I'm actually not entirely sure about that. Yeah, 80 ships, so they should be backing us up, but they might be sending their navy. They're a long way away right now anyways. Another complete victory for Japan here in Shandong, or near Shandong. Southern Zahili, actually, but this right here is the province that we really want. Huge amounts of precious metal with almost 1 million pops in it. It's worth taking just for that province alone, plus a little bit of extra grain, cotton. Cotton will be nice, considering how much cotton we need. And 1.5 million Chinese making cotton, or picking cotton anyways. And then, of course, tons of grain. Once this war is over, I will focus, as has been suggested in commentary, on expanding the armies to have a little bit better ratios of frontline troops to artillery, as well as trying to build up a liquor factory. It has been pointed out that we import a lot of liquor and produce a lot of grain, and yet we don't have a liquor factory, so that will need to change. The Chinese and Vietnamese are still trying to screw around in Southeast Asia. Again, they can try, but they're not really going to get anywhere from it, I don't expect. And the number of Chinese that are attacking Shandong has dropped to basically 0 now, although they have some really big units up here in the north. But I'm presenting a fairly straight front, so, and once the second army finishes occupying over here in northeast Manchuria, outer Manchuria, they will join the battle for real, and then it's only a matter of time, though admittedly it was always only a matter of time. And yeah, China's trying to occupy Shandong, but not being very successful. Wow, now that is a battle. Lost 8,500, destroyed 88,000. That's how you do it, guys. So I'm going to sweep that army around through through Shandong, where China is trying to occupy. And China's trying to take back some of this space. But Southeast Asia is pretty much a sideshow right now. And it's only a matter of time. I have technological superiority, if not numerical, but numerical is slowly coming along. Just because they keep taking huge casualties, whereas we do not. We're taking some casualties, but it's not anything that's just devastating. And this army should reinforce to full, which will be nice. Looks like Southeast Asia is starting to get taken over a little bit. And Mission to Civilize just showed up, which means that we can now start to colonize, which means no time like the present, we're going to start colonizing. I'm going to try and compete in southern New Guinea with the Netherlands, because it's a nice bit of land. Also social reform desire. And going to choose the mitigate policy slightly for this discriminatory school system event. That gives us research points, which is better than nothing. Alright. Looks like we're a little late to the colonization party. And we need to build some more. We pretty desperately need some more ships if we're going to keep colonizing. So I'm going to build up 14 commerce raiders. Because why not? And they should, yeah, I still have the point here, so they will join up with my transport fleet. I'll split them after the war if I need to. But for the moment, I'm okay with them all being together in one big stack. The colonial points come from both increasing your supply through larger bases. Speaking of which, going to expand that naval base. In addition to... Sorry, lost track of thought keeping up with these armies here, or looking at the armies here in the south. But yeah, the supply for colonial power supply comes from the number of units you have, number of naval units you have, as well as naval bases. So I need to build up a bigger navy if I'm going to successfully colonize, and I probably should have thought of that earlier, but such is life. And we're still occupying, wiping out one army after another. I moved the second army here to take more of outer Manchuria. This war is very quickly becoming even more one-sided, so at this point it's just a matter, I think we've run up against the 100%, the 50% war score we can get from battles, which is the maximum, and so we're just looking at slowly holding on and letting ticking war score and occupations win this for us. I'm gonna... no time like the present. Going to go ahead and attack that huge unit because I'm pretty sure I will beat them. And not going to attack there. Going to clear out these enemy occupiers first, and then going to move in for the attack. Associationism is almost done, which will be nice. Oh, there we go, another nice one battle. Gonna clear out those occupiers and move on down south to occupy more of the land we're going to take. There we go, associationism is done. So I'm gonna research inorganic chemistry. We really need the extra supply. It won't probably come through before the end of this war, but that's okay. and more successful occupation. Almost done here in Upper Manchuria, which means that these 40,000 troops will be able to join the party here shortly. China is trying to take back some of this land, but doing it very slowly. I'm not worried. All the tea in Japan, gonna let the capitalists take the money there. And there we go, another one battle. I'm going to stop it there for today. Thanks for watching. This battle is, or this war is very much going in our favor, but it's just a matter of finishing up the occupations, which I will do next episode. So thanks for watching, and come back soon for more Victoria 2, Heart of Darkness.